and welcome to the Watchtower Watch Reviews with your host DK, and today we're looking at another Pagani design. And now this one has been out for quite a while, so I am a bit late to the party for this one, but it is the Pagani Design GMT. Specifically, in my case, the Batman variant with the blue and black. Being a huge Batman fan myself and a bit of a nerd, I had to go for the Batman version, and let me tell you, it is a fantastic watch, but it is not without its flaws. So, we're going to go through it, we're going to see what we like, what we don't like, which bracelet option you should go for, which strap option could you go for, and basically give you a full rundown of everything good and bad about the watch. Let's get into it. Okay, so here we have what I'm wearing today, which is my MMI turret, which I have on loan from the company. I have this black and brown one, and I have the stainless steel on my little watch stand there. But we're not here for the MMI turret, we're here for the Pagani Design GMT. So it came in this little black and gold flip-top box, as they always do, with of course the standard blue polishing cloth. I will say I'm always surprised by the polishing cloth and the quality of it. Whoops, Yoda took an old spill there, so we'll stand him back up. And inside I've got the Pagani Design GMT. Of course I went for the Batman version, being the massive nerd that I am, and of course it's blue and black, which go very well with a lot of the clothes I wear as well, and my suits. So you got the Pagani Design guarantee card, unsigned, still in the plastic. I don't think I've ever seen anyone use a Pagani Design guarantee card. And of course Pagani Design hang tag and a user's manual, which I have never used for any watch, and the spare links. That's your lot. So diameter on this one, well, it is 40mm, much like the watch. It is homaging the Rolex GMT Master 2, 44.6mm at the crown. You have lug tip to lug tip length of 46.8. However, if you include those protruding end links, you get 49.5. 20mm lug width, tapering to 15.8, back up to 18.2 at that clasp. Thickness on this one is 13.4mm, which is a little bit thick for a suit, but you'd probably just about get away with it. The weight on this one is all links 151 grams, 6 links removed from my 6 9/10 inch wrist is 140 grams. So specs on this one, well, like all Paganis, it is stainless steel throughout on the case, crown, bezel and the bracelet. It doesn't specify 316L stainless steel, and there is a mixture of brush and high polish. On the bezel insert, you have a ceramic bezel insert for the black and blue and the black. The red and blue and red and black are aluminium, however, with no lume pip. You do of course get a sapphire crystal, and unusually a sapphire cyclops as well, which is an unusual one. I haven't seen that on too many watches. It is a flat piece of sapphire, so you don't get any distortion on that dial, and as you can see from my ring light, there is no anti-reflective coating as well. You can see there I've gone for the Jubilee bracelet. There's a couple of options for this. Again, it's a mixture of brush and high polish. You can also get a oyster style bracelet as well, or a NATO or rubber. Whichever bracelet you do decide to go for, they are all solid links and solid end links with screw pins, which is very good. They do a decent job of copying the Rolex GMT Master Clasp, and it has a diver's extension as well. You simply press down on this piece at the end towards the N of the Pagani design, and the diver's extension just pops out like so. You do get an exhibition case back showing off the Pearl DG5833 GMT movement. It also has stainless steel 100 meters water resistance and a model number on the back. As I say, this is a GMT movement, as shown there by that little blue hand that is currently pointing at the 11 on the bezel. So if you unwind it, it is a screw down crown. So you unscrew, pull it out to the first setting to wind the watch. Second setting allows you to move that GMT hand, move towards you to wind the GMT hand, and move away from you to adjust the date, which we're going to do now. So you can see there, the date will just change over when you wind it away from yourself, and it is actually a quick set date change as well, so it snaps over at about 5 to 12 very, very quickly. Pull it out once more, and it allows you, of course, to stop the second hand and set the time. So a macro shot for you guys, and you can see here Pagani Design and Explorer printed at the 12 o'clock position. Gilted indices which are applied and loomed all the way around with a triangle, inverted triangle I should say, at the 12 o'clock. Cyclops magnifying that date window, although magnification is not the greatest on this one, to be quite honest with you. That ceramic bezel insert looks well. Automatic, water resistant, 10 bar 100 meters down there at 6 o'clock, and a single baton there for the 6 as well as the 9. You can see there that GMT hand in blue. So lume shot, and lume on Pagani's is always a bit more of a bonus than an actual feature. However, on the GMT they have, it's actually not half bad. This is 8 minutes of footage sped up down to about 30 seconds. Unfortunately, normally I do 15, but my camera decided to cut out in the middle. It does a decent job on the hands and the GMT hand, but the indices fade fairly quickly. I reckon you get about 6 hours, maybe 4 to 6 hours of light off this one from being charged up, but it's not an all-nighter by any stretch, but it is worth it for the price. So here it is out on my 7-inch wrist. You can see there a mixture of high polish mid links and brushed outer links on the Oyster style bracelet. It is of course the same for the Jubilee style bracelet. Personally for me, I think the Jubilee is the one to go for. I just prefer the feel of it, and I'm a bit more forgiving of a bit of a rattle to it because of the style of bracelet than I am over an Oyster style bracelet rattle. This one just feels that little bit more premium. Speaking of premium though, if you want to go really upmarket, you can go for a Strapsco Beads of Rice bracelet with a fully milled clasp. This one was sent to me by the company for free. I do not have to send it back. I actually have them in for a review. I have a whole bunch of straps that I'm going to do a strap comparison video with. However, we stick with this watch, and this is a rubber molded strap. It fits perfectly with the end links. You can see there, flows in nicely. I got it on AliExpress. I'll drop an affiliate link for it, of course. I think it was about €6 or something like that. Well worth it if you want to keep this one on rubber. I think it looks better on black than blue. Not so sure about this strap. It's a Dasani, again from Strapsco, again sent in for free. However, I just think it doesn't work particularly well with this particular colorway of the watch. Maybe better with the Pepsi variant or the red and black variant. Just doesn't work with blue and black. Surprisingly, this watch Gecko blue leather rally strap, also not a huge fan of. For some reason, this watch doesn't do so well with blue. It really just goes well with black, so I would stick with black or bracelet. So while there is a lot to like on this one, it's feature packed, it's fairly reliable, it looks amazing, it's a lined bezel, and it's very comfortable and good value. There are some dislikes. That bezel, the action is okay, you can hear it clicking into place, but there's a bit of back play on that one. Bit of a disappointment when it's 60 click as well. You'd think that it would be a lot easier to get these things out in quality control. Also, as I said, the lume was not amazing, it was fine, but it was not spectacular. Again, it's a compromise you pay for a watch at this price. However, I will say this, particularly the blue and black ceramic bezel insert, looks spectacular, as does the sapphire glass, and the fact that it's got that lovely black dial on it. Really, really good looking. All credit to Rolex, of course. A major dislike for this one though is this clasp. So full disclosure, this is not the clasp this one came on originally. This is an upgraded clasp I bought off AliExpress, and I'll show you why. You can see here the Pagani design signed clasp. It has the diver's extension, which is very good in fairness. A diver's extension is always good. However, I think it only has that because of the fact that you can't use micro adjusts on this one. Well, I say you can't. You can, but they are a bigger pain in the ass than anything I've ever had to deal with before. They are unusable in terms of getting them to move because of the design. You can see there that spring bar is dug in, and there's only a teeny tiny hole where my finger is to actually be able to adjust it and move it on micro adjusts. Therefore, to me, it really is almost completely unusable. Hence, I had to buy an upgraded clasp, and this one has a on-the-fly adjustment system. Rolex, I think, have a trademark term on this one that I'm not going to use, but you can see there, it just simply glides along and you can adjust and do on-the-fly adjustments, which is great. Another like again is the fact that you're getting a GMT movement, you are getting a ceramic bezel insert, you are getting an all stainless steel mixture of brushed and high polished, a good bracelet if you buy the Jubilee with solid links, solid end links, screw links, and if you buy the extra upgraded clasp for €7, you can adjust it to your heart's content on the fly. Very, 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 very good value watch at this level, in fairness. I will say that, and I keep saying value, it really is great value. I'll pop the price I paid for this one and where you can find it right there. That is incredible. GMT movements are not cheap, even the Chinese ones, and this is excellent. Also, I will say that bezel does a decent job of being aligned as well. It's not 100%, but I reckon it's about 98% aligned on every marker. And to be quite honest, that's all you can ask for. I will say that bezel insert with the two-tone has a slight unusual thing. If you look there at the 6 o'clock, you can see it's split right down the middle. But at 18, it is not split down the middle. You can see there's a bit of blue going into the 8. A lot of people would prefer if that 18 was split perfectly between blue and black. I did promise I'd mention exactly why I don't like this oyster style bracelet. It has solid links, it has solid end links, it has of course that same clasp that we've spoken about, but it just feels light and it feels a bit tinny. The Jubilee, despite the fact that it has a bit more flex to it and it feels light as well, it just feels like this style of bracelet should be lighter than an oyster style, because the oyster style is supposed to be solid pieces of metal, whereas these are 5 individual very small pieces of metal, which again will lend itself to feeling very light and very, some people would say flimsy, but I actually quite like Jubilees. This one is actually quite well integrated into the case. I've taken it off and putting it back on, and I've gotten it to sit back in quite nicely. A big dislike for me though is an exhibition case back on this particular pearl movement. I hate that little pink thing. I have a couple of pearl watches that have the GMT in them, and I just hate that stupid pink thing. Pagani seem to have done exhibition case backs on pretty much everything. This movement is also in my Felida Seamaster GMT Homage, but I just hate that pink thing, and I really wish they hadn't done a display case back on just this one. So there you have it, my review of the Pagani Design PD-1667, aka the Pagani Design GMT. Now, calling it a Pagani Design GMT might be a bit rich, considering it is a very obvious homage of the Rolex GMT Master 2 with the blue and black bezel, but it is still bearing their name and it is still coming out of their factory, so let's give them some sort of credit. It's a very good homage of the Rolex GMT for not a whole lot of money. You do have to make some concessions, unfortunately. The oyster bracelet isn't great. The Jubilee's a bit better, in fairness, I can say that. The clasp is rubbish, as with most Pagani design, unfortunately. So go ahead and get yourself the upgraded clasp. I've left an affiliate link down below, as I mentioned in the video. Other than that though, I think it's a fantastic watch for not a whole lot of money, and if you wait and get it on sale, you can probably get it close to €60. I don't think I can beat that. Guys, thank you very much for watching the review. I have been your host DK. This has been the Watchtower Watch Reviews, and I will see you guys next time.